Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego DC Comics Superheroes Mighty Micros Wonder Woman vs. Doomsday. This is set number 76070. It has 85 pieces, and I paid $15 for this set. This is a sealed version of this. This is retired. It's from, I think, 2017. I actually just recently looked at a different Mighty Micros that I also got sealed, but that was just on a store shelf. This one was in a store local to me, but it's kind of a collectibles store, and they buy, sell, trade, and do different stuff there. So this is sealed, but I'm assuming they bought it from somebody else, and I don't know what they would have paid out for it, but they had this in there and I wanted to pick this up. So I decided to grab it, and I'm hoping I'll be able to look at other Mighty Micros in the near future. Here are the Nightwing and Joker stuff, as well as I have the minifigures over here. So maybe I'll compare those a little bit later. That one I paid $13 for. This one I paid $15 for. It's interesting to me because I think actually this one on like aftermarket websites you can probably get for $10, potentially less, which is a surprise to me for a couple different reasons. First, this has Doomsday, which I think this might be the only Doomsday minifigure that there is. Doomsday is a pretty iconic villain in the canon of DC Comics or Superman stuff. And then Wonder Woman is also a pretty well-known character, and then I wanted to see what these builds look like, to see how they differ from the ones I've already done. I really am excited about the Wonder Woman one because it looks like it's sort of vaguely Invisible Jet inspired, which I think is really cool. So I decided to pick this up, and in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego DC Superheroes Mighty Micros Wonder Woman vs. Doomsday set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. If you want to support the channel by giving money to the channel, there's Patreon, there's a YouTube stuff, there's Buy Me a Coffee. All that stuff really helps, so maybe consider checking it out. This comes together pretty quick. I like these Mighty Micros, so spoiler for my full review. That said, now on to my review for this set. Okay, so here we have the Lego DC Superheroes Mighty Micros Wonder Woman versus Doomsday. This is awesome. This is a great Mighty Micro. It breaks some of the conventions that I thought were going to be pretty consistent throughout the Mighty Micros pretty early on, and I think maybe on some level I expected that, and on another level maybe I didn't, but I was excited to see that, and we will get right into building this. Again, you get three kind of things, like a promotional thing, and the like inventory, the parts list here, and a look at some of the other like Mighty Micros, like Superman and Bizarro. That one looks really interesting to me. Bizarro's unique figure, and seeing how they like play off of each other I think would be really, really cool, because it almost looks like Bizarro's vehicle is sort of inverse, and I think that's a great dynamic. We also have the Killer Moth and Batman one here, and then beneath that we have the Killer Croc Sewer Smash set, which I have and have looked at on the channel before. And we also have the Harvester of Fear, which I have and I've looked at on the channel before. But this other one is like a motorcycle, Harley Quinn, Batman. I don't know if this is like Deadshot or somebody else. I'm not sure who that minifigure is, but maybe I'll look into getting that set there. And then we get the two instruction manuals for the separate things. The first one you build is for Wonder Woman, and we can take a look at the minifigure first, like we normally do. So we have a Wonder Woman minifigure here, and they are sort of rightfully micro in certain senses. We do have the kind of sword accessory there. We also have the shield. I was unsure about this. So the shield is two pieces. This kind of disc here that sits on there is a separate piece, and I was kind of surprised. Let's see if I can even get this off of here. There we go. I was kind of surprised to see this being the color that was used. I don't know. I'm not such a Wonder Woman fan that I know like what their shield normally looks like. But I for some reason I had in my head that it was like gold, but I could be totally wrong. Maybe it's all different shades and different types at various points. But anyway, we do have that here. I don't know if that's the color that I would have chosen, but that's okay. And then looking at the figure itself, really nice hairpiece here. I think this is similar to other Wonder Woman sets. So it's not dual molded, but it does have the printing for the gold for the headband, as well as the like red kind of star in there. Looking at the face, this reminded me very much of the Nightwing and the Joker one, where it's kind of a more youthful face, I would say, which maybe plays into the mighty micros of it all. So that was good. So we have like the eyebrows are pretty defined, the eyes are pretty defined. We have the mouth giving kind of a smirk or a smile, but it's sort of off center and tilted, and is a little bit cheeky in that way. So they're having that there. There's no alternate face on this one, and the hair frames that up quite nicely. For the torso, we have kind of the basic Wonder Woman suit, and so we have like the W's up there in the gold, the red, the little print details to give the impression of like hips or a waist, and then a little bit gold around the waist area on the torso. It's on the shortest legs, so they don't bend, they are just blue, and there's no like printing on them or anything. There's no printing on the arms, just bare arms. Back of the torso is pretty straightforward. We do have a little bit of the belt kind of coming back here, and then some of, I think, what's supposed to be skin tone up at the top, which is okay. And this is a good figure. It's a shorter, potentially a younger version of this character, or whatever else, but it is on the shortest legs, so that's just what I based that off of, and that is pretty cool. Always happy to get like more figures. It might be the case that this face print is exclusive to this, unless maybe Wonder Woman is in other Mighty Micros or something like that. I think the other Wonder Woman minifigures that one might get in a traditional Lego set that's not Mighty Micros, I think would look a little more, I don't know what the word is, not professional, but like just have maybe a less expressive kind of face design there. But I could be totally off base with that. Either way, good to get Wonder Woman. The next one, this is one that I was really excited about, and I was kind of wondering if this was like valuable at all, because I think this might be one of, if not the only time this character has been in minifigure form. So we have Doomsday here. That's a classic supervillain. Famously was part of the death of Superman, which was like a very important comic in comic history and Superman history and DC history. They've since made appearances. The character has been done in different iterations and different issues, different storylines and movies and all different stuff. So we do have this character. They use a brown like carrot stick, maybe kind of as like a club type thing there, and we lost a little bit of hair. This character is, their background is a little bit, I don't know. I'm not 100% certain on their background. Maybe they're Kryptonian, or they are like genetically engineered using some Kryptonian source. Their powers are kind of, they're really involved. They're superhuman. stronger than Superman, potentially stronger than the entire Justice League put together at various points. And then they have, the ability to regenerate health and not be impacted by something. And if Doomsday is hit with sonic rays or something else to try to get them off balance, usually if that's used a second time, they have sort of built up a resistance to it. So it's like a very cool character, scary, and very powerful in the DC universe. So interesting to see here. We do have the white kind of tuft of hair thing, or like almost feather looking stuff there for the head. I don't love how this goes in there because it's not a super solid connection. It doesn't go in all the way. I think it looks fine. The face printing is really good. So we have like the eyebrows, or sometimes they have Doomsday is depicted as having kind of, I don't know if it's sort of crystalline protrusions or like armor or different things, but occasionally they have had different armor that I think they can kind of generate themselves. But they have this, I don't know if it's an eyebrow or if it's a tuft of hair or if it's supposed to be kind of a some sort of crystal thing that's on their body, but we have that up there. There's no alternate face, but because this one doesn't have a hairpiece, we do have kind of these marks that are vaguely rock-like or crystal-like on the back of the head. And then we have two pieces that are around the minifigure neck. So the first one is kind of this, I would say it's a beard kind of looking thing there. And then beneath that, we have these pauldrons that kind of look like bones. And that's not a piece that maybe I've seen it in different colors. I'm not really sure. Potentially this beard piece is used in other sets, but I can pop those off just so we can see what the face looks like without them, and I think that's got some pretty nice details, so I like to see that. And then beneath the head, keep moving down, if we look at the minifigure torso, same color as the head, as their skin tone, and then they have the kind of crystal slash hair kind of stuff going on there. Beneath that, we have some defined like musculature, and then we have a kind of belt around the waist area that's printed on the torso. These are on the shortest legs. There's no printing on those like that, and then just bare arms. This is a figure that may be in Lego video games, and it may be represented generally as a big fig. I don't know if there have ever been any like physical big fig plastic things in any sets for this character. That would make sense to me for them to be a big fig or a bigger figure. And then looking at the back of the torso, again, we get kind of the muscle defined in there, some of this crystal rock hair kind of stuff, and the belt around the back, nothing on the arms. So this is really cool. I don't believe this is particularly valuable, maybe because these sets were readily available. This one's from 2017, and I don't know where that places it in the kind of DC universe release schedule in terms of movies. And I don't know totally about like comics and different things. If I look at, this is Doomsday with the short legs, but I wonder if I look for them on the Bricklink, it appears that there's Mother Doomsday from the Lego Ninjago movie, and then there's just this Doomsday. It appears that this is a pretty affordable figure. It could be that it's, was readily available. A lot of people have them. Could be that it's not that popular of a character. You could probably buy this, at least in the USA, for less than $5. So even though it's like exclusive to this, and it is maybe the only time, it appears to me the only time it's been in Lego form. It's not that sought after. And then besides the minifigures, we have the Mighty Micro vehicles themselves. The first one you build is this one, and this is a sort of take on Wonder Woman's invisible jet imagined as a Mighty Micro. And for this one, it does use the starter brick here with the axles really close together, but it does not use the starter piece or the other kind of molded piece that makes up the chassis of one of these things and kind of has these wheel well or cutouts or these fender kind of cutouts. So this does not have that. So on this base with the axles, we put brackets all the way around, put some plate in there. Then we use some clear headlight bricks, clear cheese wedges all around. We put a clear dome on the front. And then we have these nice, really clear kind of wing or fin pieces that I think are really quite good. And the production work on these is really good too. So very cool to see that. And that kind of serves as being kind of the part that maybe goes over the wheels a little bit and stuff. We do have a kind of lever for them to operate this, or a joystick, and a space for them to stand in here. We can see what it looks like with the figure in there. Maybe something like that. I think this is a really convincing rendition of the invisible jet as a car. There are pieces that Lego does not make in clear, and I think this would have been, really, really cool to see, clear brackets, clear plates, heck, maybe like make this chassis piece clear and all of that other stuff. I don't know if that's, make the tires clear, make the, the rims clear. I don't know if that's, against the Lego kind of policy. I don't even know if it's necessarily possible for some of these things to like meet their tolerances and make the parts like satisfyingly clear in the way that like these kind of fin pieces are, or even like the cheese wedges or the dome up here. I don't know if they could make a bracket like that, and whether or not it would look good if it was like that. So we do have a little bit of white in there and then just the light gray. I think that's a pretty good approximation given what we have, without asking them to make like a ton of new pieces or kind of recolor things. I have a feeling that recoloring something to clear is slightly different than recoloring to just a different color, but I could be 100% wrong. I think this is super cute, super nice. It does have the bigger, wider wheels at the back, thinner wheels up at the front, so it kind of looks like it has some rake, even though it doesn't really tilt forward that much. And they look good in there, so I think this is a really nice design. Super happy with that. I didn't even realize when I bought this that that's what it was going for, and I think they achieved it really, really nicely. So very cool here. And then the other one we have is for Doomsday. Now this one does use the same kind of starter plate, brick axle plate here, as well as the one with kind of the wheel well cutouts or fender kind of cutouts in there. So we have both of them, but this time in green. Off of the front and back, we do use some brackets, the same brackets we use on the Invisible Jet. We put 4 of these clips on there with a big long bone going across, as well as these like torches that kind of in there at a nice angle, I thought, for exhaust. Around the side and the front and the back, we use these kind of asymmetrical, different height kind of tooth or claw type pieces, so that gives it a little more sort of prehistoric but organic look to it. The colors with the green and the white really convey that as well. There is a steering wheel in this one. There is a spot for Doomsday to stand in there. Then just tiled this out. Up at the front, again, we have these kind of claws or teeth or bones there. We also have the ones underneath here. We use this piece that's like a 1x2 but has these kind of hollow studs offset from that to kind of get some headlights there. And then we use the white vented pieces kind of for a grill or a bumper. And I think this is pretty good too. It's pretty simple, but it does differentiate itself from the other Mighty Micros that I've seen in some subtle ways. This is a very small kind of framework to be operating on, and so I'm really happy to see that there is enough differences in the overall shape and design and color scheme for some of these, and I'm really looking forward to getting more of these to kind of see what else can be done and what else the designers did. I mean, I think between the two of these, they are very different. They're similar in size and in maybe shape in some ways, but they're different in a lot of other ways that do make them, distinguishable from each other. And then going to look at and compare the Nightwing and the Joker ones to that is very cool as well. So we have kind of the Joker ice cream truck here and the Nightwing kind of roadster sports car, and none of these really look the same. The other thing is, the Doomsday one uses the bigger, wider wheels for the front and the back, so it kind of gives it that look that it's maybe a almost like a monster truck type thing, which even if these both are kind of flat essentially, it does give it a way different look from the side, having the big thicker wheels there versus the thin ones. And then the way this is sloped, the way this is a little more straight lines and maybe a little more organic looking, and this one's a little more sleek looking. There's a lot of difference there. And then the Joker ice cream truck has some different kind of design elements, also does have the print. There are no prints, no stickers in the Doomsday Wonder Woman set here, but these do all feel like they're very, very similar in size, and they all feel unique enough to really make this cool. And I would hope that other Mighty Micros, whether it's DC or Marvel or whatever, kind of follow that same trend. I think there's definitely room to do different stuff other than using that special kind of the green piece in there. That's what I've been calling kind of a starter brick, and maybe we'll see more of that if I get to look at more of these. But I think this is great, and I think it's a great opportunity to make Lego minifigures that they maybe wouldn't otherwise make, and to get a hold of a collection of unique figures and unique little builds there. So I really enjoyed this, and I'll show the extra pieces because we do get some. We get the clear stud, the clear cheese wedge, the rim for one of the wheels, kind of the thinner ones. We get an extra of that beard piece, or I don't know if they're supposed to be teeth or a beard or what they're supposed to be. Also an extra of the lever or joystick piece there. So those are the extra pieces, and this set is 85 pieces, and I paid $15 for it. So it is retired. It's from 2017. I think I paid less for the other one, but I believe the other one that I paid like 12 or 13 for, I believe that was the price in 2018 when it came out. When this one came out in 2017, I'm thinking it probably retailed for 12 or 13 or something like that. So that doesn't, it's not too far off from where I ended up. If I'm looking to try to see, okay, maybe they were priced at $10. I don't know if there was a difference in 2017 versus ones that came out the year later, or the ones that came out a year earlier. It could be that they were $10 the entire time, which is interesting. That makes me think that the other one, maybe that store just had them marked up even from back then. I don't really know, but it seems like maybe they were $9.99 or roughly $10, and I paid technically like 50% more than that. So going from $10 to $15, but getting a retired set, a sealed set with unique minifigures, with some nice builds in a kind of sub theme that I'm just have been exposed to. I'm fine with that. It was also from like a local store and whatever else, not a issue. I don't know that this is probably able to be bought for $10 or maybe even less. And so, but I didn't have to pay shipping, and I didn't have to deal with any of that other stuff. There now is one fewer of these out in the world, so that is sort of the nature of it, and I don't feel too bad about the price, especially like comparing this one to the other one, which was 12 or 13. That's not too far off. 15 is maybe towards the upper limit of what I would pay for these Mighty Micro sets, but that's very dependent on the figures they include and what they all have going for it. So because I'm not familiar with these, there could be a Mighty Micro set that is really, really valuable, and I'm not aware of it, and that might be because it has a minifigure or a version of a minifigure that is desirable and sought after, in which it drives the price. I don't know, but at least in this case, this one seems to be relatively affordable, and you could probably pick this up for less than I did. I am comfortable with the price. It feels great to be able to look at older sets like this, and IP, two characters, and so that's pretty good. So I'm happy with the price here, and I really enjoyed this, and I enjoyed the Nightwing Joker one, and I'm hoping I can get a hold of some more of these Mighty Micros. You can let me know in the comments what your thoughts are of the Mighty Micros, and if you would want to see more talked about on my channel. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, and I think that's it. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including hopefully more Mighty Micros, more DC stuff, more superhero stuff, and then tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming LEGO videos. And then if you wanted to support the channel in a different way by giving money to the channel, you could do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. There's a Patreon link in the video description. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description. There's also links, like affiliate links, that would earn me a small commission for different products that I use, equipment that I use, hardware that I use, and occasionally for sets, but I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for like retired sets versus sets that are readily available. But either way, you can check those things out. That's another great way to support the channel, and I do very much appreciate it. So thank you very much. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.